Hey guys, welcome back to Montavue. Today we're going to be showing you the extra features of the doorbell. There was just too many to fit into the first video, so we made a second one for you guys. At the end of this, we're also going to be showing you how to connect it to your NVR as an official channel through your guys' network, so stay tuned if that's something that you guys want to do. Before we get started, if you guys missed our first video, that is going to be showing you how to connect this doorbell to your guys' network and get all this started. So if you guys missed that one, make sure to check it out. I will put a link in the description below. For those of you that followed that video and are seeing a doorbell on the home screen, we're going to select the three dots to the right of where it's listed. Once you click those, we're going to choose Device Details, and this is going to open up a huge menu of options. So the first one we're going to see here is Message Settings. It's basically an on or off if you guys want the texts or notifications from this doorbell camera. So if you guys don't want to receive those for whatever reason, you can go ahead and click this off. The next section is Arming Settings. Once we go in here, we're going to be presented with a few options. So first of all, we can actually just choose if we want a detection area on or off, and then if we want the human detection on or off. If you have human detection off, then any movement in front of the doorbell will be registered and you can send a notification to the phone. If you have human detection on, then it will only send you a notification when it detects a human presence on screen. You can go one step further and go into the detection area settings. Now here, the standard motion detection is covered in a red grid. Anything under the red squares will be detected by the camera and send an alert. If there's an area of the screen that you guys don't want motion detected on, go ahead and click these buttons down here. These three buttons down here will edit the grid. This first one will completely wipe the entire thing. This one will flip between the colors, so if you guys have made any mistakes, it'll basically switch it from on to off. Don't forget, red means that it will be detected in that section. Then if you guys want to do a custom, you could click this and it'll activate the draw mode. And here, if you can see, as I move my finger around and clear out the grid, I make spaces that are cleared off that will no longer detect motion. If you guys want to reapply red or motion to any other parts, go ahead and click this button again, and then you'll see that I'm able to now draw in the red sections. Once the grid looks okay to you guys and you got it set to where you want, go ahead and click on the save button in the right corner. It looks like a floppy disk icon. The next portion of this is the human detection zone. So if we click on that, we're given another set of parameters for where it detects. Now this is where it's only going to detect humans. So you guys can move these corner points around to kind of fit the area you wish to have this in. You can take up the whole screen or you can just take up a small portion. The buttons down below are pretty self-explanatory, but the minus button will shrink the size of your square or whatever shape you have. The plus button will make it larger. The refresh button will reset, and that'll kind of restart from the beginning. Once you guys have this set to the way you want, go ahead and hit the save icon. Again, it's that floppy disk on the right side, and that's going to cover the detection zones. So we're going to hit the back button in the upper left corner to go back to that menu. The last option here is detection sensitivity. It's a scale of 1 through 6, 6 being the most sensitive, 1 being the least sensitive. So if you guys are having issues with it picking up too much, go ahead and change this. The save button's in the upper corner, and so make sure you guys hit that before we leave. Now we're going to hit the back button. That's going to take us back to the device details settings, and we're going to keep going here with stream setting. So stream setting is determining if the standard definition or high definition image is being sent to your phone. Main is indicative of the high definition version, where sub is indicative of the standard version. So in most cases, you guys should be able to do HD or main, and this means that the high definition full version will be sent to your guys' phone. If you guys are finding that the video is loading really slowly, maybe you guys are in an internet dead zone, keep in mind you may want to switch this to sub so that it loads much faster when you guys are on the go. Don't forget, you guys can change between standard and high definition in the live view, so this really isn't going to make too much of a difference. And since this doorbell doesn't really have a sub stream, you guys don't really have to worry about this one. Personally, I would just set both to main and call it good. Video player size just changes how big the screen is once it takes over. I just do fit screen size. I think that's the best choice for everybody. Once you guys are set here, we're going to hit the back button in the upper left corner. And the next option we're going to see is custom audio and video encryption. This basically just gives an extra protection layer for your guys' video. So what happens here is you set a password, and then that password is required every time you guys want to view that video. So if you guys ever lose your cell phone or somebody steals it, they can't access your guys' footage, and therefore it's kind of double protected. Keep in mind there is no password recovery for this section, so if you guys do forget this password, you will lose the footage that is encrypted with that particular password. So it basically means that we're gonna have to reset the doorbell, and then we'll have to reestablish it onto the app. So it could be kind of a pain in the butt. Just a forewarning before you guys get into this. The next section here is audio recording. Pretty simple here. It's just off for the microphone being deactivated. On means the microphone is active and recording. Audio takes very, very little space in your guys' SD card, so I would almost always recommend this being activated. Next section here is quick response. This is actually a really good option here. So if we go into here, we have default sayings. Now, when someone rings your doorbell and for whatever reason you can't answer it, these quick responses become available to press. Once you press it, the doorbell will actually say the things that are written here. So in this case, you guys can use the default sayings, or this allows you to create your own. So if we press this plus button in the upper right corner, we can press and hold the record button for up to 10 seconds, and you guys can do a custom audio. Now you can have a lot of fun with this, or you can just do your own voice, say something simple. But either way, once it's recorded, you guys can hit the play button, and that will test it, and that will actually play out of the doorbell itself, not out of the phone. So keep in mind, when you hit play, you're gonna have to be within proximity of your doorbell to actually test that out. Once you guys are satisfied with what you've recorded, go ahead and hit the check mark here on the right side, and it'll ask you to name whatever this saying is. From then on, once someone rings your guys' doorbell, this option will appear below the default sayings. So you can have up to 3 custom audio responses. If you guys want to delete one for whatever reason, come to this page and then swipe left. It will give you a delete option on the far right, just like here. Okay, let's hit the back button, go back to device details. The next section here is white light. This determines if the little LED pops on that is below the doorbell when it detects a human or motion in general. You can also choose the brightness of that light. It starts at 4 and it has a scale from 1 to 4, 4 being the brightest. The next option is LED indicator. This just turns off and on that little blue ring of light that surrounds the doorbell button on your actual camera. It is quite visible at nighttime, so if you guys didn't want people knowing that that doorbell's there, then that would be probably a good option to turn off at night. Okay, the next option here is chime link. We already set this up when we initially set up the doorbell, but if for whatever reason you guys alter your guys' home structure, or if you guys change houses and there's a new doorbell involved, this is where you would go to change those options. The next option is network config. Again, this kind of goes along with changing locations, or if you guys were to change your internet structure within your house, you would come here and this is where you could pick which router your doorbell is connecting to. The next option here is time zone. This should already be set up from when we first initialized the doorbell, but if you guys change your location, this is where you'd go. DST is daylight savings time. You guys can enable this and it'll automatically configure that. If you guys don't live in an area with daylight savings time, make sure you guys deactivate this so it doesn't mess up with your schedule. Alright guys, this next section is device sharing. This is really important if you guys have roommates or family members that you also want to have access to the doorbell. So how this works is they need to go and download Montavue Go 2.0 to their own smartphones. Then they're going to go to the home screen, click on Me, and they are going to sign up for a Montavue account, just like you did when you set up the doorbell. This is free to do. All they need is an email. Once they have that set up, you're going to come to this device sharing screen. You're going to click on Target DMSS account, and then you're going to type in the email that they use to set up the account. Once the system searches for their name and finds it and adds them, your guys' wireless doorbell will appear automatically on their smartphone app. They don't have to do anything else. You can have up to 6 users, 7 including yourself. If you guys want to remove access to the doorbell, all you have to do is find their name on the share screen, swipe right to left, and hit delete. It will confirm with you, and then on their app, it will actually remove the doorbell completely, and they will no longer have access to the live viewing or the footage recorded. Alright, that about covers the device sharing, so the next one we're going to go to is the cloud update. This one you don't really have to worry about. The doorbell's already configured the way you would need it, so let's not worry about that. Next one's storage manager. If you guys do have a micro SD card loaded into the doorbell, that is where it's recording all this information, and you can see how much your capacity is up top. Formatting the SD card, that is the equivalent to deleting everything on it. So if for whatever reason you guys want to erase footage, keep in mind it has to erase all or nothing. Go ahead and click the format button down below. Alright, last but not least, back to this main page, we are looking at restart and delete at the very bottom. Restart will simply give your guys' doorbell a restart. It won't clear it off of your guys' phone or anything like that. It's just that if it's having connection issues or whatever, maybe a little bit of glitches, We have not seen anything that would require this, but again, you never know. So again, this restart button is just simply to restart the doorbell itself. And then finally, we have the delete button. If you guys want to erase the doorbell from this account for whatever reason, go ahead and hit that delete button, and that will clear it completely from your guys' account and your phone, as well as any people that you are sharing this device with. One important note with the delete button, if you guys ever sell your home or whatever reason the doorbell transfers ownership, you guys want to make sure you delete it from your account. Otherwise, when the next owner goes to add this doorbell, they won't be able to because it will be locked to your account specifically. So we get that call every once in a while when someone sells their home, so thought I would mention it here. All right, that covers all of the extra options on the Montavue Go app. So now we're gonna really quick show you guys how to add this to your guys' NVR. Keep in mind it does take the place of an official channel, but it allows you guys to record all that doorbell footage to a much, much bigger hard drive, which means weeks, months, or even a year of recording time. First of all, the doorbell needs to be connected and we need to be able to see the live view on our smartphone screen. Second is the NVR needs to be connected to the same router that the doorbell is also wirelessly connected to. So once you guys have everything in the same network, all we're gonna do is go to the NVR main page, simply right click and choose main menu. Then we're gonna go down here to where it says camera, and then we're gonna go to camera list or registration. So a basic breakdown of what we're seeing here is anything on the bottom half is a camera that's already added to your NVR, whether it's directly plugged in or coming in through the network. Up top is the cameras that are on the network that aren't quite added to the NVR yet. So what I want you guys to do is hit search device up top on the left. Once you guys hit search device, it will come up with a list of a bunch of information here. So you're gonna see IP addresses and whatnot. The most important thing we're looking for, especially if you have multiple devices, is we want to find the device type or the device name. And for the doorbell, it should be MTDB5124. Once you guys find that on this list, go to the far left side, click on this little box here, and you're going to put a white check mark in there. Then finally, you're going to hit the add button down below. Whatever channel is available, the next available channel, it will occupy, and then it should pop on from red to green and you should see an image on your live view. Now remember, when we were setting up the doorbell initially, I mentioned that if you guys planned on adding this to an NVR, that the passwords should be the same. If for whatever reason the passwords are different, the doorbell will require you to enter the doorbell's password before it can actually fully connect to the NVR. To do this, you'll come down here, click the edit button, and then the password will appear as a form of dots. You're gonna clear that off, enter in the doorbell's password, and then you're gonna hit connect. After that, as long as you guys entered the doorbell password correctly, it should go from red to green, and then again, you'll see an image and it will start recording to the hard drive. All right, guys, that is all we've got for the extra doorbell features and connecting it to the NVR. Hopefully you guys managed to do this all successfully. If not, go ahead and give our tech support a call. We're here Monday through Friday to help you guys out. I always appreciate a subscription to the channel, so if you guys liked what you saw here and you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy your day.